school, and I was 16 at the time. And the whole summer, my friends and I had one goal, which was to not be bored. So we would have sleepovers every night, hang out every single day. And on this Tuesday night, we were like, we need to have another sleepover. So all my friends' parents already said no. So it was up to me. I go downstairs and I see my mom and I'm like, oh, dinner smells really good. And I see my dad and I'm like, how's work? And I'm really bothering them up for this question. So finally, I pop the question, like, can my friends sleep over tonight? And immediately, no, we work tomorrow, not tonight. So I go back upstairs and I tell my friends the bad news, but we're not going to give up that easily. My one friend suggests, don't you have a tent? What if we camped in your backyard? Oh yeah, it's a good idea. So I go back downstairs for round 2. And I say to my parents, okay, hear me out. What if we put a tent in the backyard? We won't even be in the house. It's like we're not even here. We don't even exist. And my parents are hesitant, and because I obscenely, I forget the word.
They pause for 1 minute and they're like, I got them.
Finally, they caved and they're like, okay, fine, just be quiet. So I'm like, okay, perfect. I go upstairs, I tell my friends and I, we are so excited. This is so exciting. We're gonna be in a tent outside, we can be loud, blast music. They come over, we're having the best night ever. We're laughing, we're talking. It was so much fun. Then the next morning comes, we pack up the tent, and my friends leave, and I noticed I had a weird pain in my right leg. Now mind you, we were outside. So I look down and I see what looks to be like a blister. And being 16 at the time, I did what I thought was best. I peeled the blister right off. Not a good idea. And it revealed a weird perfect circle. And I was like, this is so odd. Yeah, you know where I'm going. So then I go inside and I'm gonna find either my mom or my dad. Now here's the difference between my mom and my dad. If you tell my mom something with a medical emergency, it's immediately hospital, right away. No questions asked, hospital. My dad, on the other hand, you tell him something happened, it's, you'll be fine, walk it off, throw a Band-Aid on it. So my mom wasn't home, it was my dad. I showed him it, and I've never seen anything like this before. My dad looks at it and he's like, yeah, you'll be fine, throw a Band-Aid on it. So I'm like, oh, okay. I throw a Band-Aid on it, a couple weeks go by, and I'm changing the bandage, and I'm like, something does not look right. It's not getting any better, it's getting a lot worse. So it's bad. So then I finally show my mom, and my mom freaks out. She's like, we have to go to the hospital. But luckily, we know the head surgeon at one of the local hospitals nearby. So we go to his house. He looks at it, and then he says to my mom, I'm gonna take you in the other room really quick. I'm like, okay. I'm trying to eavesdrop, but they're whispering, so I know it's bad. And finally, she comes down, she's like, we're gonna go home. The drive was silent, but it's the kind of quiet where, like, you know something's wrong, so I'm like, oh my gosh, what is it? We get home, and she takes my dad in the other room. Now they're whispering, and I'm like, geez, what do I have? So I'm making conclusions in my head that this is, like, some life-ending disease. They come out, and they sit me down, and they're like, it's a brown recluse spider bite, which I didn't know what that meant. Basically, the venom was eating away my tissue on my leg. But what they didn't tell me was the bite was right on top of my bone. And what the surgeon said was, if the venom reaches my bone, I'll lose my leg. So I'm like, they know this, I don't. And I'm like, thinking everything's fine, and they know. So we're checking it, and a couple weeks go by, and we were told that the venom has stopped eating away my tissue, a centimeter away from my bone. So we got very lucky. Luckily today, all I have is just a scar, a circle scar that just doesn't tan. But luckily, I would take that. I would take that any day over not having a leg. So that's the story of how I almost lost my leg, and I'm very lucky to still have one.